Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Curly K Glam, and I am here today to review Grownish. Okay, y'all, Grownish is back. The episode's title is Full in Paradise. This is episode 10. Okay, we starting back, I'm gonna ease on in there, but let me tell you something. From the trailer, I'm not even gonna hold you. I was like, okay, Grownish, because I felt like the adjustment to Junior and Friends was a little rough. It was a little rough. And so I guess at the end of the video, I'm going to address, or talk about it, not address. I'm saying like I got some big old thing to address. I don't. But I just feel like, there's some things to talk about, some expectations that I have for this second half of season 5. As we can see, if you pay attention to social media, Grownish has been renewed for season 6. So, we're going to see how this goes. Okay, so basically, this introductory episode was simply about Zoe and Aaron, which I am happy about because I felt like for the longest time, me being a Grownish fan, I felt like they dropped the ball with Zoe and Aaron. Because I felt like we got this whole thing with Cash. We got this whole thing with Luca. We had the back and forth between Luca and Aaron the entire duration of Grownish just for Zoe to graduate. And then her and Aaron not be together because she moves to New York. Okay, so now we're in this space where they're in a long distance relationship and they're trying to make it work. So, as for the premise of the episode, we know that Zoe and Aaron are very busy individuals trying to adjust to this long distance relationship. So what are the odds that Zoe and Aaron bump into each other in San Francisco because both of their flights have been delayed? What are the odds? So Zoe is supposed to be going to Tokyo for a fashion show. Her layover. Actually, she flew from New York to San Francisco and she's supposed to lay over again or cross over again in Hawaii. So, Aaron is supposed to be going to a conference or where he has a speaking engagement in Seattle and he's stuck in San Francisco. So, in typical Zoe and Aaron fashion, they always, are trying to make things shake. You know what I'm saying? They decide to, hey, let's just change our flights and leave out tomorrow, the next day, and spend the whole night in San Francisco. So things are going nice the whole night. Zoe and Aaron are getting along. They're, in lover's lane. And they start having a little tit for tat over dinner. They going back and forth. They just being petty because both of them really are truly petty. So they just being petty over dinner. And, Zoe decides, hey, well, I think I just want to let things go. But she questions herself. In typical Zoe fashion, she's just like, but I like to choose violence. And so then they have a flat-out argument. And so after they two go to their separate corners to think about what they just did, they have a meeting of the minds and they talk about it. And they decide that they both are in it to win it with this relationship. They're all in trying their best to make this long distance relationship work. And honestly and truthfully, like, as long as two people are dedicated to each other in a long distance relationships can work. They are very hard to navigate, but as long as two people are both equally committed, it works out. And so they decided that they're going to be committed to each other and that they're going to try to make their long distance relationship work. Okay, and then they go off to their separate corners. Of course, Zoe forgets to give Aaron a kiss, and in typical Zoe fashion, she defies the law and makes her way to the plane and delays his flight another 20 minutes. Okay, and that was the gist of the episode. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give this episode like a cool 6.5, 7. Not too shaky, nothing too, it wasn't exciting. It wasn't exciting. But it was, I feel like, a good segue episode. Like a beginner segue episode, because we are in the middle of a season. I felt like season one was, not season one. I felt like the first part of season 5 was a little shaky. I felt like I loved the idea of Junior coming to Cal U, because Junior's college experience was something that we never got to address on Blackish, because of course Blackish is now ended. But it was a topic. Like, Junior did try to go to college and he had a little hiccup. And so here we are, 2 to 3 years later, Junior is deciding to go back to college. And I thought that, okay, Junior going to college would have been, a great segue for his character from Blackish to him growing up in the world to become a young man, like how Zoe was on Blackish and she went through her adolescent years, her teenage years, she graduated, then we saw her develop as grow up into a grown woman on Grownish. So here's the thing I think Grownish can do that we didn't necessarily get to see in Different World. And I know, like, when you watch my reviews, I'm always talking about Grownish in a different world. Because here's the thing. Not that I'm trying to compare any shows to Different World, because Different World is in a lane of its own. It's very nostalgic. It paved the way for a lot of shows. It paved the way for a lot of Black TV shows. But Different World was the first college show that we all encountered, period. Whether, they were at HBCU, of course, in Different World. But now here at Grownish, we have Black people navigating college again. The only difference is this is at a PWI. That's the only difference, okay? I felt like one thing that Different World did not get to do was show the adjustment of where characters are in their lives post-graduation. So we got a little bit of that with like Ron and with Kim, but the sole focus was on Whitley and Dwayne. And so after Whitley and Dwayne graduated, they tried to, navigate the real world. They had jobs or whatever, and then ended up getting married. But as far as them getting married and navigating life, in the real-ish phase, because, after you graduate college, okay, we know we're grown, but we're grown-ish. Like, we still have very much, if you, I think you graduated from college around like 23. I think I was like 23 when I graduated, because I did a 5th year in school. So around like 22, 23, you grown, but you like grown-ish. You still depend on your parents for some things. And then, for the most part, I feel like some people still depend on their parents for certain things. You grown, you still do things on your own, but you still kind of be like, Mom, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like Grownish can do that. Like, we can still navigate them being in relationships and stuff, but we can, and having a job and real world, issues, but still, have that college piece. So as far as like where Whitley and Dwayne was, after they got married, they ended up, starting their life like outside of Hillman. And so now Aaron and Zoe are still dating, but we're trying to see their life outside of Cal U, And the show kind of stopped around season 6 with Different World. And so now that Grownish has gotten approved for a season 6, I'm hoping that we'll get to travel new areas in Grownish that we necessarily did not get in Different World. The reason why I said I think season 5B will be different is because of the fact that now I think they're focusing more on the development of Junior and his individuality. Like, as far as like Junior on Blackish, we know Junior was the quirky, nerdy black guy. He was the black guy that went to school he went to a predominantly white private school, and then he ended up transitioning in his senior year to a public school where the world was different for him. And so now we're at college and he's got a little bit of everything going on. I think that's interesting to see, like, funny Junior turning into a man, because, you know, Junior was pretty much everybody's favorite character. Like, he always had the witty punchlines. He was a mama's boy real bad. And now we get to see him navigate the world as Junior, a grown man. And so Junior, the last place we left off was Junior was entering his thought phase. But now I think we're going to see Junior, the student, Junior, the, what is he, a Gamma? Junior, the frat life. And Junior with his relationships, because he still has feelings for Annika, but now Annika is going to have a new man. So we're going to see how he navigates that. And then, of course, his relationship with Zoe, which I feel like hopefully in season 5B, we get more of an interaction between Junior and Zoe, because honestly, I feel like on Blackish, Junior and Zoe was onto something, but then Zoe ended up leaving to go to school. And so that their relationship kind of, you know, separated. I mean, it still was a thing in the Ish universe, but you know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of us seeing them, like, navigate being close as siblings, we didn't get to see that. So I hope that we get to see that. And of course, the brotherhood between Aaron and Junior, since Aaron is dating Zoe. I also am kind of excited. I know everybody complained about Zoe, like, during Grownish, because a lot of people did not like Zoe's character. But I, for one, like Zoe just because I was coming from Blackish. And so with Zoe coming back, you know, in real life, Yara was in school. She was trying to graduate and she ended up graduating from Harvard. So I think that's why her load was a little bit lighter last season, because I feel like she was trying to get that out the way and finish that. So now I feel like in season 5B, Yara is going to be like back full and in force. I feel like we're going to see more of Zoe on screen with Aaron. I feel like we're going to see more of a dynamic to their relationship, because we didn't really get to see that in season 5. And I'm just like, I know, like, we was not, well, I wasn't, because I was team Zuka. But I know, like, Zarin fans were pissed because of the simple fact that they waited. They did all that in season 3 and season 4 for Zoe and Aaron to be together, for us to not even see Zoe and Aaron be together like that and to be in a longest relationship all of season 5. Like, I feel like that was a little trash, but I understand, like, life happens. So, moving on, I hope, you know, in season 5 we get to see that. We get to see Junior's school life balance. One thing I do wish that would have remained the same was the cast. I miss Vivek so much. I miss Anna. I even miss Nomi, and I felt like they dropped the ball with Nomi's character, you know, towards the end of Blackish. I mean, not Blackish, Grownish. And I miss Luca, and I definitely miss Sky and Jazz. Like, I really feel like, I really do feel like Chloe and Halle should have stayed on the show. Like, I know Chloe and Halle have their own things going on, but like, Trevor is very much an artist. He very much is doing music. He very much is out there and doing his thing and still on Grownish. So why couldn't they stay on Grownish, you know? And honestly, I feel like Jazz and Doug never really, you know, they they never got their closure. And it's crazy because Zoe and Aaron did. So, you know, I still feel like they should have kept the old cast and then brought in some new people. Like how in Different World they had the basketball player, and Jada Pickett's character, and then Dana. You know what I'm saying? And then they still had all of the old cast from Different World. I wish they would have did that with Grownish. So we could have got to see them all interact. Because I'm not even going to hold you. I knew so much about the other characters from the beginning of Grownish. I don't know anything about these new characters. Like, I don't know anything about Annika. I don't even know the rest of their names. That's how, like, I felt like their introduction just wasn't there. I just felt like it wasn't the same. I felt like it didn't glide. It wasn't it wasn't cohesive. So yeah, I don't remember my mouth long enough, but I have good feeling about the second half of season 5. So we're gonna see. And I feel like the wittiness is gonna come back because Grownish was really witty in the beginning. And I feel like now that we got Junior, I feel like things are gonna be better. So we'll see. I'll be back next Thursday, to give my, review show. But we back, y'all. I'm back reviewing. I'm so happy. Because that hiatus, first of all, Grownish was off TV way too long. It's always off TV way too long. Blackish won't even off TV that long. And, I'm waiting on All-American to come back. Homecoming and All-American. So, we back. We're going to be reviewing. We in there. So, yeah, y'all. Stay tuned. And I'll be back with more videos. Deuces.